Hi everyone, and in today's lesson we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is how to write emails in English. The first question I normally get asked about writing emails is, should we be writing in a formal style or an informal style?
Oh no!
It really depends on two things.
1.
Who you are writing to,
2.
and what you are writing about. Number 1, who are you writing to? If it's somebody that you don't know or somebody more important than you, then you should be a little bit formal when you are writing to them. Number 2, what are you writing about? Again, if you're writing about an important topic, for example, a job application, an email complaining about something, or an email about some legal topic, or an email that's a contract asking for money, then it's a good idea to be a bit more formal. So it's an interesting fact, everyone, that most emails that are written in 2020, they won't be formal emails. In fact, even business emails, people say they're not formal and they're not informal. They're somewhere in the middle. We call them neutral. They're neither formal or informal. They're somewhere in the middle. But that kind of assumes that we know the difference between formal writing and informal writing. So let's have a look at some of the factors that determine if our writing is formal or informal. So first of all, let's take a look at formal writing. Formal writing tends to follow a set pattern. In formal writing, we don't use contractions or short forms. What are contractions? Well, don't is the contracted form of do not. In formal writing, we tend to use longer sentences and more uncommon words. And also in formal writing, grammar and punctuation is thought to be quite important. So when we are writing informally, then it's much closer to the way that we would speak to somebody. You can use contractions, the short form, and you can also use short sentences and more common words. Okay, so I'd like to move on to share with you my ideas about the structure of an email. The idea is, if you can think of these 5 things every time you write an email, then your email is going to be very good. Number 1, salutation. Number 2, the opening. Number 3, the main body of the email. Number 4, the ending of the email. And then don't forget number 5, which I call sign off or just off. Let's look at those one by one. So number 1, salutation. Now you may not know the word salutation, but many people do know the word salute. Actually, my security guard salutes me when I return to my condo every day. And really the word salute or salutation just means a greeting and a way of showing respect.
Cheers!
Let's imagine for my email, I want to send a message to this guy. Yes, it's Mario Mara. Now, actually, I don't know Mario Mara, so I'm probably going to start with a more formal salutation. Formal could be something like "Dear Sir," because Mario is a guy. Or if I'm writing to a lady, I might use "Dear Madam," If I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, dear sir or madam, dear sir/madam. But maybe because I do know his name a little bit less formal, I could write to dear Mr. Maurer. Or again, if it's a woman that I'm writing to, I would use the title of Mrs., Miss or Ms. In this case, I do know his name, so a little bit less formal again, dear Mario. Or even in emails, you can just write the person's first name alone, so I could start with Mario. If I'm good friends with him or I've been writing emails to him for a long time, I can be a little bit less formal, more informal, and use a greeting like hello Mario or even just hi. So let's move on to the opening. Now, it's very important in every email to state the reason why you are writing. What's the purpose of the email? And normally, emails have one of two purposes. Firstly, you could be giving information. So, I'm writing to tell you the date of the next English lesson. Or the second thing that is often the case with emails is that we're asking about or asking for something. It's a question. I'm writing to ask for details of your next English course. I'm writing to ask if you have any sales promotion this month. And part number 3 of our email is the main body, the middle of the email. Here is when you can go into more detail of what information you are giving or the questions that you would like answers to. But remember, we still want to use KISS, keep it short and simple, give the detail as concisely as possible. If you do need to write several sentences, think about using numbered sentences or numbered paragraphs. Think about using bullet points. And don't be scared to use a double space to create some white space between your paragraphs. It normally looks better and easier to read. For example, would you rather have to read this email? Or is it easier to read this version right here? Which one looks easier to you? Now it's time to look at the ending. And the ending of the email is where we normally explain what we would like the reader to do next. For example, if you have asked a question, I look forward to receiving the information as soon as possible. Or if you've given some information about meeting, I look forward to meeting you next week. And finally, we've got to part 5, the final part where we can sign off. And again, you can do that in a more formal way or right through to a more informal way. Let me give you some examples. First of all, if you wrote to dear sir or madam, it's usual to finish with yours faithfully. If you wrote to dear Mr. Maurer, then you're going to finish yours sincerely. They kind of match up. Less formal than yours sincerely is just the word sincerely on its own. And then very common in emails these days is the sign off best regards or even simply regards. And perhaps the most informal on the list, a little bit like our greeting, is cheers. You can write your first name and your last name and even your job title if it is necessary. With a more informal email, you can just write your first name. So there we are, everyone. Now you have finished your email. But actually, we haven't talked about what some people say is the most important part of the email, and that is called the subject line. You can do it before you start writing the email, or you can do it at the end, but it is very important, so give it some thought. The subject line is what people see next to your name in their inbox, and really it's what decides whether someone opens your email or puts it in the trash can. And of course we want them to open your email. But there's a lot of competition for people's time these days. Can you guess how many emails are sent every day around the world? And actually, the answer is number 3. 350 billion emails are sent every day. And we want them to open your email. If I send an email and the title is hi or hello, it's quite short, but there's not enough information there. Similarly, a subject line that simply says meeting, it's short, but it's not specific enough. If it's about a meeting, team meeting on Monday the 1st at 10 a.m. tells you more information. To finish today's lesson, I have prepared a simple email which I'm putting on screen now. And what I'd like you to do now is imagine that you have to write a reply to this email. Have a go for a fun exercise, everyone. You can put your answer in the comment section below. So use this as an exercise in writing emails. And I do hope that you learned something from today's lesson. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back with another new lesson very, very soon. But for today, everyone, thank you for watching. Bye bye.